With the box office success and critical acclaim of The Iron Claw, the tragic story of the Von Erich brothers is as popular as ever. While the film is a mix of fact and fiction, one aspect of Kevin Von Erich's story is never explained: his preference for wrestling barefoot. A popular story about the origins of Kevin's barefoot wrestling was that his boots were hidden as a prank one night, and that he simply went out and competed regardless, and the rest is history. But according to the veteran himself, speaking on Chris Jericho's podcast, Talk is Jericho, the true story isn't as interesting as the tales that have been spun over the years. Kevin explained to Jericho, "There are a lot of stories out there, but the truth is that I had those knee surgeries, so many knee surgeries before I even started wrestling in football. And your boots, they soak sweat. The socks, the leather boots, they get heavy. So I took them off one time. Carrie used to do it too."
We loved it because you feel like you can fly with weight off your feet. Man, that's just a great feeling.
Kevin never put the boots back on, and now his son Marshall Von Erich also wrestles barefoot to carry on the legacy of his father. Kevin moved to Hawaii in 2006 when the boys were in their late teens, but even before island life, Marshall says that shoes were a foreign thing in their house. He told Jericho, "It's a shoot. We've always been barefoot our whole lives." On the other hand, Kevin's son, Ross Von Erich, wrestles with his boots on, though his brother notes that Ross's feet are just as gnarled and beat up as his own. Marshall joked, "We have nasty feet because they look like hooves. We've been walking around barefoot everywhere, it's just natural." Ross doesn't feel he had much of a say in wrestling with or without boots, though, as his younger brother beat him to the gimmick. However, Marshall was quick to quip that it's good that Ross covers his feet up since he has the worse feet of the two brothers. The Von Erich brothers are currently wrestling on the indies and have made appearances in AEW and Ring of Honor, even taking part in a backstage pull-apart brawl between Christian Cage and Adam Copeland on the December 27th AEW Dynamite. While Marshall is carrying his father's barefoot legacy into the 21st century, the choice has become far more common than it was in the days when seemingly only Kevin Von Erich and the Wild Samoans wrestled barefoot. With the skyrocketing popularity of mixed martial arts and other combat sports, a number of professional wrestlers now wrestle barefoot, including Impact's speedball Mike Bailey and Matt Riddle, though neither wrestler is doing it in honor of Kevin Von Erich. Trained in Taekwondo, Bailey believes that wrestling barefoot gives him more control, to the point where he is seemingly of the same mind as Marshall Von Erich, unable to understand why wrestlers wear boots in the first place, calling them thick and clunky appendages. Bailey told the Busted Open podcast, "If I do a backflip, over-rotate, and land on a heel, that can be a little bit painful, but for everything else in terms of kicking, my wrestling is mostly kick-based, so it allows me to flex my foot fully, which gives me so much more control." Bailey not only won the Impact X Division Championship barefoot, but also wrestled in Impact's Match of the Year 2 years in a row against Josh Alexander in 2022 and Will Ospreay in 2023. In both matches, Bailey wrestled barefoot. Former WWE superstar Matt Riddle also wrestled barefoot for the entirety of his time on the indies and in WWE, paying tribute to his UFC roots, where Riddle fought to a 10-3 record until he was suspended for drug use. Riddle is a former WWE United States champion and Raw Tag Team champion, both of which he won barefoot.